Hey everyone, welcome back to Miss Leo's Tarot. Today we're looking at your no contact situation. So we're going to dive into what your person is feeling, why they're silent, and whether or not they're going to be returning. Okay. Plus, at the end, I'm going to be channeling some love messages from your person's higher self. So basically, if they could open up their heart and speak to you directly, what would they say? All right. So these messages are general. They will not resonate for everybody. So just take what does resonate and leave the rest behind. Okay. So I have pre-shuffled your cards just to kind of save some time so we can just dive right into it. All right. So what is your person's current energy and how are they showing up right now? Oh, we have the King of Cups with the Star. We have the Six of Wands and we have relocating. We have Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So with the Ten of Swords and Justice. Okay, so I feel like obviously here there has been some sort of ending, a very painful ending. Maybe with the Justice energy, somebody wronged you. Okay, and there's a sense of wanting to rebalance the connection. All right, with the King of Cups energy, they obviously here, they still have a lot of love for you. And with the Star energy and the Six of Wands, this is the kind of energy where your person is wanting to kind of like win you back. Okay. With the Star energy, they're hoping, for some sort of healing, reconciliation here. We have the relocating energy card. So that's, it says changing surroundings, moving to a new city or state for a fresh start. So that could be like talking about like your person literally relocating or you relocating, like physically moving. Your person could be at a distance as well. This could be like a long distance connection. But if that's not the case, what I'm feeling here is your person is changing emotionally here. So there's a sense of, going from one kind of state emotionally to another, if that makes sense. Yeah, so basically what I feel like is your person is trying to move on here emotionally, okay? But we see with the King of Cups and the Star, this person definitely is still very much stirred by you emotionally. The King of Cups doesn't show, emotions on the surface, but there is a lot going on, deep within themselves. The King of Cups does have a lot of deep feelings, there, as we see with the Star card. So they're hoping, deep down, they're hoping and wishing that you guys could somehow get past whatever ended between you two and reconcile. That's the main energy that I'm getting here. I feel like with the Six of Wands, another message here is that your person is, in an energy where they might be posting like on social media or whatever, that they're happy, moving on. They don't seem bothered. They're just, living their best life, maybe even climbing the corporate ladder, or, it's just like glow up energy here with the Six of Wands. Maybe even physically, like I said, moving somewhere. But I just feel like it's emotionally. Your person is wanting a major reset here. And I feel like they want to appear like they are moving on. And I feel like they genuinely are, trying to move on and, working on their success and things like that. But underneath the surface, collective, I want you to know that this person still does, find it hard to emotionally move on from this. And I feel like there's an energy of them trying to, busy themselves, keep themselves preoccupied with having to deal with, their deeper emotions and vulnerabilities when it comes to you. Okay, so let's tap into what their true feelings towards you, what they're feeling, but not saying. All right. We have the Two of Pentacles, okay, juggling energy. We have the Nine of Pentacles, independent energy. And we have the King of Wands energy, all right, with worth the wait. Yeah, so divine timing is at work. True love is coming sooner than you expect. So, that's like another caveat to this. How your person is feeling right now, okay? So this is, again, major energy here of the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, they're definitely in like this, unbothered energy, just being single, with the Two of Pentacles. They're juggling a lot of things in their life. perhaps they're working 2 jobs. There's just a lot of things vying for their attention here, a lot of priorities, a lot of things that are up in the air. And they are absolutely they seemingly are embracing their Nine of Pentacles energy, this independent, single, maybe going out to clubs. The King of Wands is somebody that's very charismatic, someone that attracts a lot of people. This is a very attractive person. It could be a fire sign that you're dealing with, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But deep down here, collective, this person is obviously emotionally waiting for you. All right. So there's a sense that even though they're, maybe out there, dating and, being single and living their best life, they're still emotionally tied to you. Like I said, this is just kind of like confirming that. Your person, I feel like, is moving very slow. I feel like they're doing a lot of holding back, and very seemingly absent. But I feel like deep down, they believe that the connection here is, still matters to them here with Worth the Wait. I feel like your person feels like, they don't feel like this connection is over. So whether consciously or unconsciously, they're hoping that, timing will realign and that you guys will reconnect. They still see this as something real and possibly, it's obviously worth returning to. But I feel like, collective, there is also a sense of this person not feeling like they're good enough. Like there's a sense of your person feeling like you're out of their league here as well. That's another message I'm getting here with the Nine of Pentacles and the King of Wands. Your person, sees you as being super independent, and someone that's, there's it's like a sense of they don't feel needed. Like you're in this independent energy and, I don't know, it just feels like, they feel like you're out of their league kind of thing. All right, so let's go into why they're silent. What are the blocks, fears, or external influence? All right, so we have, oh my gosh, we have the King of Wands again. We have Judgment energy. We have Hierophant energy, Taurus energy. And we have home. A new chapter begins, a new home, or moving in together. All right, so with the King of Wands, I feel like, this is about pride and it's about pride and control. This person wants to feel, they feel very much passionate about you and very attracted, but there's a certain amount of ego and pride that is, directing their lack of communication. I feel like they are trying to remain in control, due to, pride and ego issues. So, if your person is not, the reason that why they're silent, I feel, is because they're trying to remain in control of the situation, if that makes sense. All right. So I feel like, with the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck that we saw earlier, I feel like your person does realize deep down that they have wronged you. Okay. There's a sense of imbalance there. And, I feel like there's a certain amount of, guilt that this person feels. But I feel like your person is not really ready at this moment to take accountability for, showing up and being vulnerable and having the tough conversations with you. Okay. With the Hierophant energy, there's a sense of that in the Home Oracle card. I just feel like there's a sense of somebody here has like a fear of commitment. All right. I do feel like your person does see you as somebody that they, could have something real and committed with. And I feel like that's something that really terrifies them. Okay. Because I feel like with the Hierophant energy, this is somebody that absolutely wants to kind of like do things the traditional way. It's about, it's about like family, could be like family pressure, a desire to do the right thing by traditional standards. Okay. It's very much about doing the right thing. For some of you, this could be somebody that is involved in another karmic relationship or commitment that they don't feel, that they're aligned with. I feel like this person, this is a very specific message for some people. It won't resonate for everybody. But for those that it does resonate with, I feel like this this person feels like, it looks good on paper, like the connection works on paper, but they're just not feeling it, on a soul level. Their bond, is with you. I feel like, you're the person that they definitely feel like this soul bond with. All right. And I feel like deep down, it really terrifies them, Also, I feel like your person here with the Six of Wands energy that we saw before, is in a like a vibe of really trying to distract themselves from having to like dive into being emotionally vulnerable and, explore something more committed with you. I feel like it's like a major life change for them, and this is something that they're really not ready for at this time. I just feel like they don't really know how to make that happen just yet. All right, so let's go into what are they thinking about you? All right, we'll go into the mental connection and spiritual connection. We have the Emperor energy with the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Hanged Man energy with good news. Exciting news is on the way. Something will bring you joy and happiness. So collective, yes, I absolutely feel that your person is definitely thinking about you, all right? The Emperor energy is very, guarded energy. This is not somebody that lets you in, a lot emotionally. They seem very cool on the surface, but, they do feel things deep down. And I feel like the Emperor energy here is trying to keep control, over their thoughts and their feelings, obviously. It's about discipline, pride, structure. So, this person, their thoughts are definitely lingering on you. But I feel like they're doing it like in kind of like a private sort of way. They likely think about what it would take to be, someone stable in your life, like a provider, a protector, like a stable force. So I feel like your person, you are definitely in this person's mind, and I feel like, they really do revisit like past memories of you in private, when it's just, them with themselves kind of thing, like when they're not, distracted or busy. This person definitely does a lot of thinking about you. All right, we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Hanged Man energy. So what are they thinking about deep down? This is very stable energy. Ten of Pentacles is, they do see some sort of like forever energy with you. They absolutely see, something very much long-term with you. There's a potential for families, a potential for building something, a real future with you. So this is about, this person is thinking of you and them like 5 to 10 years from now, not like, just tomorrow or next week. This is long-term energy. All right. So you're tied to what they wish they could have and also what they still desire. All right. So I feel like, your person is undergoing internally that they have, some changes that they have to make in order to have this, wish with you is what I feel. Hangman energy, they are, obviously in silence and they're doing a lot of thinking. And like I said, internal reflection. And I feel like they're kind of like mentally revisiting the past. I feel like they're gaining clarity. I feel like they're seeing things differently. They're seeing things from a different perspective as far as the connection with you. I feel like they're energetically like kind of like keeping tabs on you, watching you from a distance, and just kind of like reevaluating the connection that you guys share. So I feel like it's not indifference. Okay. It's more of like stuckness between guilt, desire, fear, and longing here. Okay. So we also have the good news oracle card. So I feel like this is hinting that you are definitely going to be hearing from this person. Okay, it could be like small like text message, like checking in, or a phone call. But I feel like there's going to be some sort of shift in behavior here, some sort of like energetic movement. It could be like a dream. You might start seeing like angel numbers or synchronicities. It could be like even someone else mentioning that they brought you up in conversation kind of thing, but you're going to be receiving some sort of news about this person that's really going to like make your heart flutter. It's really going to be something that makes you happy, and it's going to be some sort of energetic shift towards, this reconciliation energy that I see coming, all right, for you. All right, so let's go into will they reach out soon, near future action type of thing. All right, so we have the Moon with the Two of Swords, and we have the Three of Wands. And we have exciting times. So that's kind of like repeating what we just pulled earlier. The moon, a lot of emotional confusion here, indecision, waiting energy, exciting times. Yeah, so obviously here with the exciting times card, your person absolutely feels like there is some sort of like, deep connection with you. I feel like, your person, when you guys are together, the connection feels very natural. They feel like they're meant to be with you. The connection is very intense, and I feel like there's like a lot of attraction here. And it says you make me happy. So, I just feel like when you're together, there's a lot of like, happy times, a lot of laughter, like you get each other's jokes. It's just like this, like you guys vibe really well. And that's, something that they feel deep down. They feel something unique with you that they don't really feel with other people. It's something, what they feel with you is very rare, that they just don't, feel like when they meet other people. It's not something that happens very often in their life, okay? But with the moon energy and with the Two of Swords, there's still a sense of confusion, of not, it's like this stalemate energy, afraid to make some sort of choice. I feel like, there's uncertainty, a lot of fear. This person could have like subconscious fears of, commitment that stem from something from their past that they're dealing with, like subconscious fears and issues deep down within their, subconscious, basically. Your person could be like afraid to be vulnerable again, haunted by like, past wounds or regrets or things that have happened in previous relationships prior to meeting you. But with the Two of Swords and we have the Three of Wands, this is definitely like waiting energy, stalemate energy, someone not wanting to make a choice here. I feel like your person really wants to reach out, and I do feel like they will. I don't feel like this dynamic is over between you two. All right, but I just feel like your person is in fear of, if I reach out, how am I going to be accepted? Like, I feel like there's a strong undercurrent theme of being fearing of like being rejected by you is what I'm feeling. Okay. So they feel like, contacting you could be a risk, that they're not really ready to make a move on just yet. So they're just kind of like, planning, for the future. They're just kind of like waiting and seeing. I feel like your person is waiting for the right moment. I feel like for some of you, there could be, obviously there's emotional distance, but for some of you, this could be, an actual physical distance as well. But I feel like they're just waiting for signs from the universe or whatever of, they're just trying to wait for like this green light type of, they just want a sign that things, like if they message you that things will progress forward the way they want it to, if that makes sense. All right. There's like a strong theme of them being afraid of being rejected by you. So, but I do feel like they are going to be reaching out, like I said. It's just, I don't feel like it's going to happen immediately. This is something that's going to take time, that, they need to work through their subconscious issues and fears and these blocks before they can actually, confidently message you and kind of reconnect. All right, so let's go ahead and look at what the advice for you. We have the Three of Pentacles, we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Four of Pentacles. With legal complications, legal issues, an unexpected call, possible release, or the reality of no bond. All right, so I feel like the advice for you here with the Three of Pentacles is you need to absolutely focus on people that do want to build something stable with you here. Somebody that does, value the connection and wants to give in, put in the work just as much as you're putting in the work. It's a mutual effort, type of energy. It's definitely not one-sided or like breadcrumby energy. So, it's just saying, don't focus on like one-sided relationships. All right. So just focus on rebuilding with somebody that shows up for you, someone that puts in the effort, somebody that, gives you the attention, time, resources that you deserve. All right. So the Six of Swords energy is all about needing to move on mentally from this, moving from, turbulent waters to calmer waters, emotionally, mentally, kind of like start moving away from, needing this person's validation or hanging on energetically here with the Four of Pentacles to really wanting this person and not really opening yourself up to other possibilities or other connections that, will definitely meet you where you're at energetically. I feel like this is about your own, inner healing journey. So I feel like, you need to kind of like stop clinging, I feel like, with the Four of Pentacles, just to stop clinging to this connection, the fear, the emotional turmoil that you've dealt with in the past. Okay. So the legal complications card, I feel like this could be talking about, actual legal complications that could be affecting the connection. This is something that the person on your mind or, this reading is about could be going through that they haven't really told you about. And for some, I feel like it's more like a karmic connection type of thing. And I feel like, Spirit is like saying that you just need to kind of like step back, go with the flow and let, divine timing, type of energy, let that happen naturally. Let things unfold naturally. Stop trying to, so just go with the flow. Let the divine, take care of things behind the scenes. That's really not up to you to worry about. You just need to kind of let go and, kind of like focus on your own inner healing, focus on other things like, only entertain people that are willing to show up for you and build something real with you, not, half-hearted attempts or people that breadcrumb you. That's what I'm getting. All right. So let's see what you don't see coming. What's the next thing coming for you? All right. To wrap things up with, we have we have the Four of Wands. So that's commitment energy with the Ten of Wands talking about burdens. And we have the Queen of Wands. Oh man. Unsure, indecisive. So what you don't see coming, we have the Four of Wands. So there's going to be an opportunity here for reunion. I feel like there's, this is commitment energy. This is celebration, reconciliation, coming together, especially when it's tied to relationships. So yes, I do feel like this person is going to be absolutely wanting some sort of like, commitment here. But as we see here with the Ten of Wands, it does come with a certain amount of baggage. All right. So there's, a sense of still being burdened, someone still carrying a lot of like emotional burdens behind the scenes, as we saw here with the legal complications. There's a lot going on in this person's life internally, that they're still carrying into the connection here with you. So yeah. I just feel like your person is really like internally overwhelmed emotionally. Even though they want this, commitment with you, there's still like a lot of emotional baggage, like I said. But I feel like, collective, you are stepping into this Queen of Wands energy. You are stepping into your power. You're feeling more confident, magnetic. You're feeling more powerful. And I feel like you're changing. All right. You're kind of like reclaiming your identity. You're like in this Six of Swords energy where, Spirit is saying that, you're going to move into, to focus on your own healing journey, move into peace and healing and away from this turbulent energy that you've been dealing with in this connection. Right. So I feel like that's what you're going to be doing. And so you're going from, somebody that was chasing into somebody that's no longer doing that and stepping up, and your worth is like rising. All right. And I feel like since you do that, you're becoming like super magnetic, somebody that they can't really forget, somebody that, now that you're doing that, you're like in this person's mind, you're like in this star energy. Now you're like somebody, up on a pedestal in their mind that they're hoping that they can have another chance with, if that makes sense. So you've become like somebody who's like turning heads. You're the one that's, magnetic and, you know, maybe even having like potential, like lots of different suitors, you know, that this person is seeing, and it's kind of like making them jealous. It could be something like that too. But I feel like you're stepping into your power here, and you're going to be the one here with this indecisive energy. Do I even want this person back anymore? You know? Yeah, do I even want this connection anymore? And I feel like that's going to be, you know, what you don't see coming. You know, you're not going to be, it's something that, you know, this is a connection I feel like you've been wanting like for a long time. And, you know, you step into an energy where you've like detached, let go of this, you know, not really wanting it as much. And that whole like shift in energy is what I kind of feel like is surprising you here, collective, you know. And I feel like it's what's ultimately bringing this person back energetically into this connection and wanting that to, like, you know, have something stable and committed here. They're now seeing your worth, basically. To sum it all up, they're now seeing your worth. Now that you've detached, they're seeing, you know, just how magnetic you really are. All right, so let's channel a message from your person here before, you know, we wrap things up. What is a channeled message from your person? What is a channeled message from your person? Channeled message. That was too many cards. Give me a channeled message, Spirit. All right, give me 3 more shuffles and then we will pull a couple of messages for you to wrap things up with. All right. Bottom of the deck. I tried to move on, but everything reminds me of you. We have, I miss our conversations. Nothing feels the same without your voice. So they miss talking to you. There's a pit in my stomach every time I think of what I lost. Yep, they see you moving on. They see you detaching, and now they're realizing what they actually lost. And I want us to sit face to face one day. No masks, no ego, just truth, forgiveness, and love. Yeah. And I tried to move on, like I said, but everything reminds me of you. So they could be seeing your name everywhere, hearing your, you know, seeing like numbers or hearing songs that remind them of you, that kind of thing. You're on this person's mind a lot. All right, so that is what I have for you, collective. If it resonated, if you liked it at all, feel free to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.